You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You're now tuned into the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. My homies are in the building, starting off with my man Jay Moore, disrespecting the Pacers, rocking that Knicks garb. How are you, sir?
First of all, I'm not disrespecting anyone. I'm a fan of the NBA and all of its teams, and you've got to admit, this warm-up is pretty fly.
I mean, the warm-up is fly. I ain't gonna hold you. I actually copped I'm ashamed of it too, a Knicks snapback that I just love the logo, you know, it's vintage, but it felt weird wearing it, man. I had to put it on ice, bro. I can't walk around.
No, you know, because and also I can show a little love to the Knicks because Walt Frazier.
Shout out to Walt Frazier.
Is played at SIU Carbondale back in the day.
Dr. Willis Reed passed away too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nick Legend right there.
A big deal.
My man Lonegevity is in the building. Billy Hoyle style today. What's going on, brother?
Thing is, you guys look at me, you see the backwards hat, the...
Hey, man, I can't jump anymore either.
You don't hear Jimmy.
Doing all right, man.
Hat loan is becoming one of my favorite things about the days that we record, bro. Just so you know that. Yeah.
I don't know. whatever.
You don't believe me? That's not genuine.
No, I mean, I just don't.
It's not talking about
you don't
hip-hop.
care? Just say you don't care.
Yeah, no,
you don't care?
No, I mean, let me rephrase that. The fact that I'm wearing a hat, I don't care that I'm wearing a hat. It's just, but thanks, I guess.
It's not about you, man. It's about everybody else.
Hey, I know.
Yeah,
you're right.
We for the people, bro.
Yeah.
If they like it, you got to keep wearing it, right?
But it's just you so far.
So yes, I'm not enough.
I don't know.
I am a long way. For a minute, you wouldn't even mess with a hat.
Yeah.
Nah, I still don't really like them, to be honest. I've been experimenting a little bit.
The backwards joint is giving me Billy Hoyle vibes.
I do not even like backward hats at all. They always run into the back of wherever I'm at. It's just not a cool thing. But here, there's nothing behind me. So
you got space.
I used to in high school.
Probably look ridiculous, but it's
no, you
all
don't.
good.
Everything's
in high
fine,
school,
bro.
Yeah, I used to be a guy that would wear a hat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think part of it was like there were certain teachers that wouldn't let you wear hats.
We couldn't wear them.
You know.
Nah, you can't.
And then it was kind of a thing where like, yeah, I've got my hat.
I had waves in the late 90s though, so.
I mean, I used to, when I was in like 5th and 6th grade, I used to collect hats. Like I would have a whole different collection of NASCAR and basketball and baseball and all that.
You also had a mullet, so it would look right when you wore them.
I didn't have a mullet.
Long ain't had no mullet. Don't do that.
You didn't have a party in the back?
Nah, I think
Long had the Lloyd joint to split down the middle, actually. For real.
I had a bowl cut. Yeah, for sure. the Lloyd
joint.
It didn't
Dumb
quite
and
look,
Dumber Lloyd joint.
Lloyd.
Yeah, he had the Lloyd joint. Split right down the middle.
It didn't quite look like that, but yeah, for sure.
Pre-growth spurt Long had the Lloyd joint.
No, I did for a while, back when it was a thing. No, but back when I used to play a lot of baseball, I used to collect hats and all that.
Yeah.
You know what was crazy?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, introduce. Yeah,
let me get the brother in here, DJ Jay Diff. What's happening, man?
Salutations. We're just talking, you know.
I mean, I want to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do, though.
I was being sarcastic.
Okay. Don't hit me.
Were you
man.
a hat dude, Jay Diff?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I had a couple hats. I definitely had an old school Raiders joint.
Oh, you had to have
I used to
that.
wear that in like 5th, 6th grade.
Thought you was dope boy.
No, actually, I didn't.
Okay.
I just liked the hat.
I always thought the Raiders logo was cool. I don't know.
No,
Plus, I always like black and white together.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, but
it's an iconic hat.
The starter era was, they'll never know. Like, you had to be outside for the starter era.
The pro model era was never die.
The coat, hat combinations, like the starter era was just, just different.
Well, and also it depended on like how fresh your haircut was.
Terry, I had them butters, boy, in the 90s. You hear me?
I don't believe you.
I got pictures. I had them things in the 90s.
So what happened?
You get older, man.
Juices and berries.
Yeah, man, I stopped.
Put that chemical in your head.
That Murray's wore off.
Yeah, I used to. I'm talking about wave cap.
Yeah, sporting waves.
Come on, man. I had them things.
Do you know anybody that ever went through a whole can of Murray's?
No.
I did once.
Did you? What'd you do, Sean Shoes?
I know you wasn't putting it on that Lloyd boy. I know that. So you must have been shining shoes with Murray's grease or something. Cause
I know people probably got a can of Murray's from the 1995.
I ain't gonna hold you though. They had two options of sporting waves. It was the baby blue joint, and then it was the black. Was that Duke?
Yeah, that was yeah.
I thought sporting waves had a baby blue and navy blue
they
can.
Might have, but I know
and it was a red and black can. Red and black can.
Yeah. Murray's was orange.
And then they had like Let's James.
Because Duke was a different color blue, but I know what you're talking about.
No.
Used to be in that can, get all the way down in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but this is the crazy thing about the hats. You know, growing up in St. Louis, there was always kind of a rumor. Because if you remember at one point, you know, of course, Cardinals are known for the color red. You know, the red Cardinal hat.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a rumor, and in the 90s, they started issuing like a navy blue with the red St. Louis logo.
That mug is fire.
Exactly. But
That's fire.
the rumor was because, you know, St. Louis is a Crip-heavy town.
Uh-oh.
You know, it became sort of a dangerous thing to move around town wearing a red hat. So the red was kind of muted in the Cardinals uniform during the early to mid 90s.
I ain't gonna hold you, old boy that has the page on YouTube. It tells you every hat that you can't wear when you go out to LA.
Look, just
like
don't wear a hat
There's
in
20.
LA.
There's like 25 different hats where he's like, "Yep, you can't wear this one. You can't
That's
wear
facts.
this one."
Like all that LA stuff is facts, and I can
No, I believe him. 100%.
firsthand knowledge. Being a kid, my grandmother lived in LA. My cousins, all them. Shout out to them. But when I would go there, it would be like, you can't wear this, you can't wear this, you can't wear this type of shoestring in your shoes.
See?
Even when they went to school, a lot of schools would not allow them to wear shoestrings at all.
Wow.
So they had to come to school with no shoestrings in their shoes. That's how crazy the gang banging and stuff was there.
Right.
So educate me. This was related to like colors in the shoelaces, or just okay?
That's crazy.
Even down
bro.
to a belt. So they would have certain gangs that would wear a certain color belt. And you wouldn't know what they were until they lifted up their shirt.
Think about growing up in that culture and having to have a starter kit like that to learn everything just to go to school.
You can
just
wear
to walk
certain
to the
starter
store.
coats.
No, yeah. I
like-
see what you did. Yeah,
Like straight up, like even here,
that's true.
certain coats and colors and stuff meant something.
True.
Well, you
True.
know, at one point, people were like, wow, you know, I remember hearing this story, and this person who just didn't know what was going on said, wow, it's crazy to see all these black kids, you know, they're really into the LA Kings. You know, he didn't know black kids were really into to hockey like that. And it was like, part of it is because the colors are basically black, white, and gray. It's a neutral jersey or a neutral hat or jacket to where it's not going to offend anybody.
Yep.
Well,
That's kind of where the Raiders came into play.
NWA used that specific colorway in those hats because they didn't want to associate themselves with either the Bloods or the Crips.
Yep.
Right.
They just wanted to kind of be the face of gangster music, so to speak. So they just wore the black and white and gray.
That is very true. That's a good point. So, Jay Moore, tell me about your boy, man. I heard some of the details. First of all, are you abreast of what happened?
Breast.
Yes, I am.
You like a breast?
know, our favorite fraud.
What do you do this time, bro?
Decide, you know, because let me go ahead and put it out there. There is a transgender social media
Movement?
personality
Oh, you talking about? Okay, I see what you.
who, you know, Bud Light working on inclusiveness. She reaches a certain audience, and they, for this 365 campaign, they basically sent her a can with her face on it. Okay.
Oh, that's all it was.
The best gift ever, a can with my face on it.
Yeah, and because it's not like it's available to the general public. It's not like some special edition can that's going to be available in all your favorite liquor stores and grocery stores. And that was enough for Kid Rock to take some Bud Light and take an assault rifle and shoot the Bud Light.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible.
It's the cans.
It's the cans that are.
Shout out to the jerk.
And so now there's all these unimportant white men who are getting a little bit of shine right now by saying, you know, go woke, go broke.
Prove the age-old adage, get woke, go broke. Now, if you think I missed one of the bigger leftist liberal disasters of the year, make sure to put it in the comments below.
That's their whole thing. Whenever white men aren't the center of whatever is happening, they think it's, you know, it's wokeness.
That's what I say.
I hate that they bastardized being woke.
Bro.
So, you know, and the thing is with Kid Rock, there's literally a picture of him hanging out with a drag queen, you know, before he decided to be what he has turned into. You know, like I said, our favorite fraud. And the thing is, everybody's like, we're going to not drink Bud Light. And the thing is, every beer company has some inclusionary situation.
Right.
You know, because everyone drinks beer regardless of their affiliation, regardless of their sexual orientation or how they identify. You know, narrow casting, if you are trying to sell anything mass market, is not a good idea. Once again, it's about Kid Rock playing up to the same people who he plays up to when he breaks out his Confederate flag and talks about Southern heritage. Even though he's, you know, he grew up like 3 exits from Toronto, you know, and
literally though,
you know,
literally though,
and you know, had apple orchards and horses and was a child of privilege, but tries to sell.
Did he have apple carts?
You know. Yeah, he's upsetting them.
He had apple seeds.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
that's how he grew those trees.
and grew up a child of privilege, which I'm
a
not
reference
knocking
from last week. Yeah.
because
thank you.
Because you know, there's nothing wrong growing up a child of privilege. There is something wrong with growing up a child of privilege and acting like you didn't.
It's almost like it's a case where all of a sudden, if you crack open a Bud Light, a rainbow is gonna pop out, and you're gonna drink it and become gay. You know, I mean, that's pretty much how they're treating it.
Yeah, and that's not how it works.
That's not how this works.
Not how it works
I mean,
at all.
Anybody can drink whatever the hell they want to drink. It's a beer. I couldn't care less about who's buying the product. You know what I'm saying? Drink responsibly, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's all I ask.
Leave it at that.
Drink responsibly.
What is this about?
He is literally like a caricature of himself. Like he's a South Park character.
Absolutely. That's what I pictured.
He's South Park character.
Yeah. I mean, he really kind of is. Yeah. Like when I saw the video of him, like, oh yeah, this is what I say to you, and then he turns and the camera moves, and then he like shoots beer with the gun. I'm like, it's just dumb. That's all.
It's like dumb. The same people who
like, who cares? Like, I mean, I guess they care.
When they found out that Colin Kaepernick still had an endorsement with Nike, decided they were going to like burn their Nikes. And throughout history, when white people feel like they are not listened to, or there's a history of burning things, towns, shoes, clothes, people.
It's nothing new.
So, you know,
I mean, if nobody's gonna listen to you, you might as well burn some things.
The imagery of it, you know, I know they don't think of it in the same way as maybe I would,
for sure.
But you know, when you think about it, he could have said, okay, I don't agree with this, and pour out a Bud Light, but he had to break out, you know, an assault rifle and shoot. Now, when you do something like that, and you got to realize that's performative to you, but you have to realize, you know, especially what's going on in America right now, and I don't want to get too deep into that.
I know it.
You have to understand how that registers in some people's minds, especially when, you know, you talk about violence towards people who are still marginalized. Instead of just saying, hey, I don't agree with this, you decide, okay, I'm gonna bring a certain level of violence to show my disagreement. It's irresponsible.
Well, y'all know we live in a clout chasing era anyway, so that's a part of it also.
But I'm not looking for responsibility from Kid Rock.
Right. It's about attention. It's about, he did that. That's 100% about clout as well, and I want to get some attention when I do this. Like, that was...
It's also like it's also a degree to kind of to Jay Moore's point. I was joking earlier, but because it is dumb, but there is a level of like political pandering going on here. You know, that when you align yourself anti-LGBTQ, anti-trans, and then you're pro-gun, you got a MAGA hat on, you know, like you're out in the woods, you know, like there's a lot of things going on here at the same time that he's trying to portray himself as, which maybe he is now, who knows? But like,
Kid Rock lives in a mansion. He's been living in a mansion since he was a child.
Hey, maybe his backyard's the woods, you know, and there's a river or something. But I feel like, you know, like that goes to the messaging of like, this is what it means to be a conservative. This is what it means to be a Republican. And it's like,
violence against beer. That's a thing.
Yeah, it's just dumb. It's dumb when from a surface level, but there is definitely deeper connections and deeper levels of propaganda being shared.
Definitely. I mean, he's been a poser his whole life. Like you said, he's been rich, fake poor,
fake poor,
fake culturally aware, so to speak.
That's one of them.
The hip hop side of things and whatnot. He acted like he cared about little people. Now he acts like he cares about right wing conservatives. So I mean,
and who knows which one of these 𝐀𝐿Fs is actually him?
We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Well, you know what? It's the fact. It's the grift of, hey, no one talks about my music anymore.
Those people like it, but I mean,
do they?
Yeah.
Oh, he got. I don't know how big said core audience is, but he got enough people he can.
This
go
is
out
definitely
and
a blind spot for me. Like, I don't know anybody that likes Kid Rock. So.
I think it's a pocket. I think it's a pocket.
Kid Rock.
I didn't like him when he was supposed to be likable. So
true.
Kid Rock.
I think I think there's a pocket for a Kid Rock though in America where he can still go rock.
More in a pocket.
There's obviously
more in the pocket.
Yeah.
There's obviously a pocket for like conservative rap. So
yeah.
And he's doing country music. Country.
Is he? I don't even know. Like even
I don't know. I've never heard it. So I don't know.
Maybe
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he's doing country music.
doing Confederate flag music. Whatever people who really ride for the Confederate flag, he does music for them.
Yeah.
And that's his pocket now. And you know what? Don't come around, talking about, like, because once again, I remember they did this Hip Hop America thing on VH1. It was a 5-night thing. And I remember Kid Rock talking about, Public Enemy and the 98s and like how he was loving it. And I was like, well, clearly you just listened to the beats because you didn't listen to anything Chuck D had to say. And the thing is, there's a lot of kids grew up with hip hop. And then once they get to a certain age,
it was a phase though.
It was a phase for them. And they weren't really about the culture and about having any level of understanding about where the culture comes from and empathizing with the people who came from the culture. Now he's an old white man who now feels like he can shoot cans in his backyard, and that's who he wants to appeal to.
He strikes,
and I'm telling you, black people, hip hop, don't let Kid Rock come around us and try to be like, oh no, it's not, it's different, it's not like that. It is like that. You have proven yourself to be this person over and over again.
He strikes me as the poster child or the epitome of a phase person. When you said phase, I just went through a phase real quick, and I was into hip hop for a little bit.
We all know people like that from
clearly
high school.
missed it,
Sure.
right? Clearly missed it.
Not just white people. It'd be black people.
No, it's not black.
Like,
I'm glad you said that because it's not just white people.
This is him right here.
Stop that! He hates these cans! Stay away from the cans!
To your point though, I feel like white people in general, like, and I'm just speaking from like it's easy to when I was growing up and I was seeing hip hop music, it was just rap music. I didn't assign it to any type of culture that was related to it. And then throughout time, you're around it so much, you start to peel back the layers of some stuff that you don't understand, and then you dive into it. I just feel like it's super easy there's so many different nuances that are at play when we talk about hip hop culture, levels of like black culture in America as well. And there's just lots of things to unpack. And I think it's really easy if you are somebody, let's say like myself, who became a fan of hip hop, but I started making hip hop. Ended up like, that started to be like my life in a way, right? But if I didn't start doing that and I was just a fan, a casual fan, it's really easy to like not dive deep into all these things that we talk about on a regular basis with hip hop culture. But Kid Rock should know better.
Right.
He does know better. See, that's the problem.
Right.
And so like I can understand even to a certain extent some people that are like, like if you're just a fan.
Just a surface level,
just a surface level fan, and you don't understand like some of the layers of the conversations that we have here. You're just like, oh no, it's just what.
It's not for everybody to take said deep dive, right? That's not everybody's not going to be equipped or have that connection to it. So I get it, right? But like Jay Moore said, he's a person that knows better.
Oh, for sure.
He knows better.
I think once you cross over into that line to where you start to become a part of it, or it becomes a part of you in that aspect, it's like you have a responsibility.
Exactly.
To especially, I mean, everybody has a responsibility for everything that they're a part of, but there's definitely a specific type of responsibility as a white person in hip hop to understand all this stuff on all these deep levels and how it affects.
It's crazy.
Just your like we talked about Macklemore being a guest. I was
just about to say Macklemore.
It's like, yeah, okay, I can say the same thing. Yes, I'm a guest in hip hop, but if you asked me if I belonged in it, I would say, yeah, I belong in it.
As he did. He said the same thing.
And so the two things can exist at the same time, and that is a very nuanced difficult conversation for a lot of people to grasp. It's not easy. Like you talk
That's why he just doesn't anymore. He just went totally.
Yeah.
I can't say left field. He went right field.
Yeah. But I think he's just a grifter, anyways.
Yeah,
But
he's poser mobile.
yeah. But I went kind of left
I like
there.
that.
There's this football coach or whatever that got in trouble. He's being put on blast in Atlanta. I'm not even going to repeat his name, by saying a lot of racist stuff on his social media.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I need black people, the hip hop culture, whatever, stop forgiving people and just letting them come back in and say, oh, I'm sorry, or I didn't know, or I was drunk, or I was on Xanax or something. No. We got there was, what was that? I remember there was some country music singer who, said some stuff that he wasn't supposed to be saying. And then I can't, like I said, I don't commit this stuff to memory like a lot of people do. And then some rapper did a song with him, and it's like, we got to stop forgiving
Was
people.
LL Cool J, right?
No, that wasn't that. That wasn't that.
No matter what we do, the only thing with that is there's always going to be somebody that's corny and wants to do their own thing, and it's not moving as a whole. There's always, so the phrase "one bad apple spoils the bunch," or this one person is the example that they're working with this dude and he's a POS, you know what I'm saying? But this person decided to work with him, so it makes everybody looks like it's
it was
cool.
Morgan Wallen and Lil Baby.
Yeah.
And so,
because I was going to ask you, Jay, like, what does that look like? Because it's in order to affect some type of change, right? To have some level of impact, it's beyond just saying no to one person saying no to somebody. It has to look like something bigger, right?
Lil
For the
Baby
ultimate
needed a
impact.
check.
Yeah, but
he got his bag, right?
I guess
That's what all
that's
people
just what
care
it comes
about
down
nowadays.
to for a lot of people, because there's still, there's still people. If Kid Rock shows up somewhere, there's still some people who would take a picture with him just because.
100%.
It's like, hey, look, I met Kid Rock. No,
100%.
No, we got to stop that. No, we're not taking pictures with you. No, we're not going to hang out with you and legitimize anything that you were trying to do out here.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I know once again, just again, Kid Rock, I don't know what's in your heart. Really, because you've never been like, in retrospect, you've never been 100 in it.
That's one of your
about anything.
Alone, that's one of your best. I don't cares ever. Perfect timing. I don't care.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Did y'all? I played you guys audio of Jazzy Jeff on Hot 97, right? And he claims that the Fresh Prince theme, which he made in 15 minutes, I didn't realize.
It's crazy, actually.
He did one mix, and the mix was a rough mix, and that's the mix to this day that's used, that they use for the intro. But he says it's the biggest hip hop record ever because of the popularity, because of it being attached to an iconic show, the fact that everybody around the world knows it. Any country you go to, it can be played. Rosenberg and I believe Ebro were like,
"I'm flack for saying this. That is the biggest hip hop record in the world. Think about it.
It is.
That is the biggest hip hop record in the world."
That's a very strong argument.
Now, we brought this up in pre-show before we came on. We kind of have mixed reviews amongst ourselves. Jay Diff, I'm coming to you first. Is there any, he got a leg to stand on it when he says that? Because that record is...
When he first said it initially, when actually hearing Jazzy Jeff break it down as far as how many people have heard it when it came out, it's in syndication. It plays every day. Anybody can recognize it. Like, you can be anywhere and play that song, and I guarantee you a lot of people are going to know it by heart.
Facts.
So when you break it down like that, he has a point.
Okay.
It would take some thought, because I can't think of anything right off the bat that would stand up with it as far as a song that just everybody knows.
It just transcends everything.
Hip-hop wise,
yeah.
I can't think of anything. So he might be right, man. I mean, I can almost kind of G for that.
What you think, Lon? Based off hearing him break it down.
Yeah, I don't agree or disagree with him.
Okay.
I mean, it's his
opinion, right?
Yeah, it's his opinion. I think it's different. It's just different because it's a theme song to a TV show.
Right.
It's not like is so much bigger than so many other songs because it was attached to a TV show. To a TV show, so it's got a major asterisk on there.
And there's actually a longer version.
Yeah, he said it's a second verse.
Really?
There is a second verse. Let me add this too, though, because
I don't know if I've heard that. So
if you watch the pilot episode of the show,
There's a longer version of it, but when you think about this, you can't think of your favorite hip hop song, and I think that's how I was taking it at first, and that's how anybody that's in hip hop is probably gonna take it. I don't mess with that. I ain't about to ride around listening to that.
Right.
I mean, granted, that's probably true, but when you put it in context of everybody being able to hear it and how it's being digested, I mean, they got a leg to stand on.
I agree.
What you think, Jay?
Well, to me, this is like saying the theme to the Jeffersons or Good Times is bigger than any Earth, Wind, and Fire song, because we heard it so many times and it still gets played so much through syndication, and it's worldwide because that show gets played because the shows get played everywhere in the world.
Let me ask you this real quick. Those themes that you just named in an open format, any type of situation like Terry talked about, when you hear it, it's going to ring off, quote unquote. Everybody's going to know the lyrics.
You play Moving On Up.
You think that's going to hit like the Fresh Prince?
I think
the Good Times theme or I'm going to use those two. The Good Time themes or Jefferson. Now, I know both of them. So
Partridge Family?
Like the Partridge Family theme?
I don't think the audience is as big.
Okay.
What about the Brady Bunch?
I don't.
Everybody
Brady
knows
Bunch
that
is
song,
actually
too.
Brady Bunch. Yeah.
But I don't
mean,
think
they
it's
used to
Fresh
sell
Prince,
CDs with the TV themes on them. And
True.
I think as far as awareness,
okay,
yes, because you got to think about it like this: the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a show that's more than 30 years old, and it never has really gone off the air. And now that it streams on HBO Max, they had the reunion show.
Yep.
At one point it was on Nickelodeon, so you didn't even have to be alive. Like I think the last episode came on in 1996. You could be, even if you weren't born in 2005, you know the theme.
Facts.
Just because at any given time the show is either on VH1 or BET or MTV or TV1
and that Smack didn't cancel him.
Yeah.
So didn't.
No, he's just
So
fine.
didn't.
So yes, there's an awareness of the tune, if you will.
I think everything you just listed actually goes towards.
And plus,
his
it
argument.
was a song. And because Will Smith is an international star,
Exactly. Don't forget that part.
like even places where they dub the voices over into
They don't dub the theme
they
song.
don't dub the theme song, so the theme song.
Imagine if they did.
Oh man,
That would be wild.
whack.
it would be what?
Whack.
It would be whack.
So
I mean, because my thing is
Trying to transcribe the lyrics in Spanish in my head. But
because the Good Times theme, it ain't gonna ring off in Australia like the Fresh
Good
Prince
Time
is gonna ring off.
theme is gonna ring off at the barbecue. It's gonna ring off at
There we go.
the national reunion of families or national family reunion. It's not gonna ring off. It's not gonna ring off at a bar mitzvah. Whereas the Fresh Prince theme
Bel-Air,
song,
you're
will.
right. You're right. 'Cause I've been places where I've heard DJ play this themes on a living single, but it was very specific. It was narrowcasted, if you
Gotta
will.
be.
But the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is, I think it's a truly, maybe the one and only truly universal theme song to a TV show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you could say, and when I say universal, I mean like international, intergenerational
wealth.
And even
I see you, Lon.
across demographics.
I hate that he doesn't own it. He said that too. He said back then
You didn't know.
we didn't.
Yeah, ain't no way you would know.
Yeah, you
I'm sure
didn't
Quincy
know.
Jones probably owns it.
Didn't QD3 do the beat?
QD3 was
No, he was
was
QD3.
that his son?
Yeah, QD3
Yeah.
was
Wait, what are you talking about?
executive.
The actual song itself.
For Fresh Prince?
Yeah.
Didn't Jeff say he made the
Jeff said he made the beat.
Okay.
But to his point, QD3 did music production, I believe, on the TV show.
Okay.
Right. And
Like-
then Quincy Jones owns all of that
Right.
stuff. So
But the fact that Jeff made that beat, going back to listen to it now in 15 minutes and threw a mix on it, to me is incredible.
With the rap.
he also brought up a good point too, because even if we take the Fresh Prince theme song out of the equation, he actually threw another song in there that he didn't even say was the greatest of all time, which is Summertime. Summertime is a staple every single year, like
Facts.
he was saying. Like you cannot get away from that song.
True.
Every summer is going to get played numerous times, and people are going to recognize it.
And it's not a specific location record. That's everywhere. Summertime is everywhere. I don't care where you play that.
Because when it came out, it wasn't an East Coast record. It wasn't a West Coast record.
Right.
It was Summertime.
Summertime. Yeah. I mean, that's. It's a classic record. You know, so
one of the best songs ever.
I agree. That's the one thing I used to always say to people is your favorite artist doesn't have a summertime in their catalog. Like that's, you can literally say
95% of these artists
95% of your artists don't have a summertime in their catalog. I don't care who you like. Pick anybody that you want. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to have a summertime.
You know,
I'll make a song.
Well, I won't say 90. I won't say 99 because
is that too high?
That's too high because
does Jay-Z have a record big as summertime? Universally?
Summertime?
No, I'm talking about that covers what we're talking about.
As much as I love Jay-Z, I don't know if he had like Big has One More Chance.
Yeah,
and you can even maybe put Hypnotize.
He also Big has
Hypnotize because you can. I can
Big's biggest song.
What's that?
Is
Juicy?
Juicy. Juicy is another
big,
one of those
like,
songs.
I can play Hypnotize for a bunch of people who weren't even born by the time.
Juicy's not summertime big though. I don't think
like that.
Nah, Juicy,
the thing
is Juicy. Juicy is transcends across demographics and culture as well.
I think Hypnotize does more.
You got Hypnotized over Juicy?
Hypnotized over Juicy. It was all a dream.
For white people? Yeah.
Really?
I would say so.
You think so long?
I would say so.
Hypnotized over Juicy.
I would.
Damn, I would. I
don't think it's a better song.
But Lone, where are you at on Hypnotized and Juicy still not being summertime?
No, I don't think they are.
Okay.
I don't think any of these songs that I mentioned.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Because even Pac had. Well, you want to put California Love in there?
California Love as good as
it's about Hypnotize.
It's a song that like basically will never ever go anywhere.
I don't even like California Love like that either.
I don't either.
I like the
I like California Love.
I like the remixes on the album. I don't like the original.
What about Nothing But a G Thing?
I like the album version.
I would put that one up there in my opinion.
1, 2, 3 into the 4.
I would put
Snoop. What's my name?
No.
I would say
not near some, not up in that area.
Nothing But a G Thing or Gin and Juice.
For Snoop,
Gin and Juice, yeah.
With so much drama in the LBC.
I would think those.
Drop It Like It's Hot would be more
I'll take Nothing But a G Thing,
Snoop.
and I'll take Drop It Like It's Hot. But still, Summertime to me is still another level.
There's definitely like age bias in here too.
Is that it?
For me? Because
and there's another song that's never going anywhere. Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe.
Absolutely.
Now that's a good one.
Never going anywhere.
Now that is a good one.
This Is How We Do It.
Michael, yeah.
That's another one. How we do it.
No matter how it annoys me, it's not going anywhere.
Return of the Mac.
What? Yep.
Never going anywhere.
You hate that song.
I don't hate Return of the Mac.
Next episode.
Annoyed by, I'm sorry.
The next episode
I'm not annoyed
by
by Return of the Mac either. I never said that.
You run it.
Absolutely.
All right,
I said I was annoyed by This Is How We Do It.
That's why I'm getting confused. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
What Michael Jackson song goes off like that though?
Rock With You.
Rock With You?
I don't even. What's it sound like?
Yes, you don't do that.
That's one of those.
I'm serious. What's it sound like?
I don't think everybody's hip to it like that.
Billie Jean goes more than that to me.
Oh no, it's Rock With You.
Rock With You is off.
What is
Rock
With You? I don't even know what it is.
You know Rock
I
With You.
wanna rock with you.
All night.
Oh.
No, I think Billie Jean's more iconic.
It's more iconic. Just because of the video,
it has more ears on it. There's more ears.
Because anything off Thriller has more ears on it.
True.
But Off the Wall was his best album.
It may be a better song, but again,
it is.
I like Poison. I like Poison. That's a good one.
Poison.
I like Poison.
You can drop that for people, for 19-year-olds, and they'll act like it's the newest song out.
I mean, they still out here on the Legacy tour getting
Back
paid.
that ass up.
That's how, like, a lot of times, the thing is, if you go see last time I saw New Edition, mind you, this was years ago, but it was still all 6 of them. That's what they closed the show with Poison. Even as big as all the hits Bobby had, as big as it is and Love is, they closed the show with Poison.
Yeah, Back That Ass Up is another one too, though.
Oh, that's never going anywhere.
I think those are
people in retiring homes talking about this. How I met
what about
my wife 50 years
PIMP?
PIMP
50?
Mm-hmm.
No, not because you know what?
Does it not work now?
Not compared.
It's
compared to.
I don't even like the song.
Compared to In the Club, In the Club still goes.
I would say In the Club over PIMP
easily.
And even In the Club with the records that we talking about, I don't think it's there yet. I don't think it's there.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Dope record.
The thing about Summertime too is there's no profanity in that song.
True. You can play it anywhere.
Big Willie.
I hate you, man. Why would you say that? What
that was
Willie style.
That was before Big Willie style.
Yeah, I know, but it's Big
But
Willie.
he didn't
curse on any of that either. So
well,
Will Smith don't have
he
to
didn't curse it at all.
But I do. So
be careful. Yeah. Hey, I commend a brother to be able to put out. Method Man don't curse no more. Still be blacking out.
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Printfinity is a screen printing shop based in Indianapolis, owned and operated by our own DJ Jay Diff. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the new old heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member for as little as $3 a month. All details on newoldheads.com.
Bro, Wayne has been...
The Block is
Very
Hot
long
came out.
time.
The Block is Hot came out.
Dang, long. That's a long time to be an artist, bro.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
he's been out since he was 14 or 15.
Yeah, his entire life.
You've been a rapper like your whole life?
Yeah.
Can you write that much music?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can really.
Can you write that many verses,
I mean,
bro?
he said he freestyled a lot of his
This is,
more popular stuff.
This goes into like the conversation that we were having about currency. And I'm,
I mean, they kind of came up together a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a story like Currency and Wayne, like they made like 12 songs in a day or something, and it's like being somebody that can work fast, you've got to like either have stuff, if you're doing stuff from scratch and you're making 12 songs in a day or whatever, you're not putting a lot of effort. I'm sorry, you just...
I've always been on your side.
There's going to be some filler.
I've always been on your side as it relates to this from a creative standpoint.
I feel like you can come up with a lot of really cool ideas that you can then shape and mold. But like finish,
I've never been impressed, in my personal opinion, just as a creative. I've never been impressed when people say, "Yeah, man, Fam recorded this album in a week," or Fam made 60 songs in 3 days. Okay. So, like, all right.
How many of them are actually good?
Yeah, like what are we talking about here? Like,
it's just a dumb metric in my opinion. Like, it's like
sometimes when it comes into a week though, because I'm actually one of those people in school. I would wait to the last minute to write papers, and I would get better grades on my paper than somebody that spent a whole month writing it.
Because he was desperate.
No, it wasn't because I was desperate. I worked better.
Under pressure. Okay, I can
It's something
see
about that dopamine releasing that made me put out a good product, and maybe it's the same way with some people with music.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure, Mike, you've been there too. But like, I've been in situations, even when I'm writing albums and stuff like that, where sure, it may take me 6 months to do something, but I did a lot of it within like a very short period of time.
Right, the actual execution part of it.
But there's still something to be said about like, yeah, you can get the idea out. But like to finish like a really full blown idea, like and all the things that go into it, and to do like 12 of them in a day, like I don't know.
But see that, there's difference. The approach is always different because so you got one extreme where we're talking about the people that's just cranking out what you and I would deem probably ideas, a lot of dope ideas, dope concepts, right?
Yeah.
So they're ideas and concepts. Then you have people that take the older like. I don't want to use Dre because Dre just drags it all the way out. But he's one of those people that's like, no, we have to go back, take the ideas and turn them into dope records. Right. And that takes time to turn those into dope records.
Jim Jones talked about how, there's basically a Dipset album somewhere on a hard drive in Dr. Dre's studio.
Right.
Dr. J got a lot of people's albums.
I'm sure he does.
And he Jim Jones was like, this is the first dude that literally would tell me to do something 30 times in a row.
But dog, it's the stories about Hov recording the Blueprint. That's like lightning in a bottle to me because how fast he recorded those records when you watch Fade to Black, to see how cold that album is. That's not normal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's an anomaly.
But everybody
to me. That's not normal.
A lot of people think they're Jay-Z, and they're like, I'm gonna use that same method. I was like, you are not that.
Like, Jay don't write, so I'm not gonna write.
Overwhelming Slice brought up. What about 3K making Love Below in 3 weeks?
That's amazing to me. If that's
like how you said that. Now, see, that's.
But it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Was that from scratch? You know, like, did he already have the ideas already kind of?
He probably had an idea
Framework of
or an
some
outline, so
Yeah.
to speak, and then just executed it.
That's what I'm thinking too, because
Right.
there's one thing to like conceptualize something and know what you're going to do, and then you attack it.
Rather than just waking up in the morning like, hey, let's write this album real quick.
Yeah, me and Lone can go into the studio with 12 shells
For sure. And we have.
and finish them. If that's the case.
Yeah.
But we went into it with 12 shells.
Yeah, we've done this before, literally.
Versus he and I sitting down and actually coming up with stuff from scratch. It's just going to take longer, and it's just a process, right?
Yeah.
Or because we've done stuff in 10, 15 minutes.
I mean, we released a song that we made live at two songs that we made live.
Section leaders.
Like live performing.
On the spot.
Yeah.
Just put them out.
You know, but it wasn't just done. Like, there was still stuff. And granted,
you already have a pocket that you're vibing in that
for
you
sure.
built
That's true.
on for a while.
And there weren't any words.
True.
That's the other part. But
true.
I think
some of Wayne's early songs weren't the most lyrical.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
I mean, he's the one that came up with wobbly wobbly job
like it's hot.
I mean,
yeah.
It worked.
It sure
bling
worked.
bling.
Bling
That's
bling.
another
That's
thing he
cash
came
money.
up with.
Yep.
So a lot of it was quicker. I wouldn't say any
Catchy.
kind of
I think
intricate.
catchy.
Yeah, definitely catchy. So I mean, I can give him some P's, but a lot of his early stuff definitely wasn't Carter era or mixtape Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's a little different.
This goes kind of back into, like I said a couple weeks ago with my comparison from Currency and Lil B that we talked about. And Terry, you were out that week, but it was like, this is not the first time that I've mentioned this on this show. And I feel like a lot of it was missed in the comment section just because of how silly it sounds to compare the two, which I can agree with, right? But when I hear Currency a lot of times, and I hear a lot of newer art, this is a lot of. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper here. I feel like sometimes the artists that the issue that people have with mumble rappers, quote unquote, is that it feels like they're not even trying when they're making stuff more than anything. A lot from a creative standpoint,
right?
When I hear certain artists, and I've been in these places, I've worked with people, I've done albums, you know, I've been in these situations. I can tell one takes. I can tell when somebody doesn't seem like they're trying, or just like, that'll work. And I hear that sometimes. And I know that other people don't hear what I'm hearing, but it's an interesting place that we've gotten to where, like, it's just accepted because of certain fan bases just ride with it.
You know, some people
I think sometimes Freddie Gibbs is sloppy with his delivery, but it works.
Yeah.
I hear stuff that he says and like, man, he could have done that. I would have been Dre being like, nah, record that again.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I know some people understand where I'm coming from, but at the same time, like, he doesn't really need to, because he's still doing what he does and it sounds good and all this other stuff. But like, I'd be like, you kind of messed up these syllables over here. You could clean this up, right?
But you're also saying that from a standpoint of knowing that he's actually dope and that he can, like, he can do better than that.
I would want, right? Yeah, exactly. I would, because
he's nice. He can do better than
you
that.
can take this from like from an A to an A plus.
Exactly.
Type thing, you know?
Exactly.
You know what the biggest, like, hey, somebody should have said you should have recorded that over again on Warren G's first album, which I loved at the time, and still I revisited recently. I was like, man,
was that? What was
it was Regulate the G-Funk era.
G-Funk era. That's it.
And there's a rhyme where he goes, "What's next? What's next? What's NXET?" Yeah. I'm like, nobody heard him misspell that.
He misspelled. He had to misspell it on purpose for it to even rhyme.
I know, but it's just like,
what's the engineer look like?
Nobody said, okay, this, because I guarantee you, if Dre was supervising that, they'd have figured it out.
There's no way.
I'm like, we'll just roll with it. It'll work,
bruh.
And
good call, Jay Moore. I forgot
because
about
what's
that.
next? What's next? What's NEXT? Wouldn't have been that hard to fix.
It's not hard. Go ahead, Lone. I'm sorry.
Nobody want to say anything though.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of this has to do with my personality type, and you guys know I'm super tedious, so I hear this stuff and it drives me nuts.
Shout out to Warren G though, man. I'm not trying to bag on Warren G because I actually really appreciate him as an artist and producer.
No, that's funny. I don't care what you. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I wouldn't have. Me personally, I wouldn't have wanted to keep it because I'm like, man, I messed that bar up. We need to.
That's like getting a tattoo spelled wrong on your body. Like, it's gonna be out there forever.
But if I had homies,
no regrets.
If I had homies in the studio,
no regrets.
If I had homies in the studio you know, everybody got to have 2 or 3 people that don't really need to be in there.
They probably thought he spelt it right.
They looked at him when he came out the booth and was like, "Yeah, that's it right there.
That's the one.
Those are not your real friends.
That's the one right there.
Those are not your real friends. You killed that. Come on,
no,
man.
you didn't.
Just like
if that was me in the studio with y'all, as soon as the door opens, Terry would have been like, I know you ain't going there.
I said it before you even came out.
Look, just like we had a discussion maybe about 250 episodes ago about like really wild homoerotic like lines on.
Oh yeah, I remember that conversation. Yeah,
and it's like nobody said maybe you know.
Well, them people was in there trying to get a check too. So
trying to get a check,
trying to ride some coattails. They wasn't about to tell
like
Big he was wrong.
You really didn't hear you say
the engineer
what you wanted to do to another man.
The engineer was like, "Okay, that's a good take. We'll go to the next one."
Yeah,
look right past it.
Currency actually just dropped the album with Jermaine Dupri. It ain't that bad.
I want to check it out. Somebody in the comments.
It sounds different.
Somebody in the comments told me to check it out.
I like that Larry June record.
I want to check back with you once you hear it. I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna like it. I do.
I'd like. Against popular belief, I don't hate Currency. You know,
I don't either.
No. What I'm looking at with
Look,
you,
what
is
you
more,
guys said last week didn't really get a lot of flack, even though I thought it was going to. The Larry June.
Oh, the Larry June, yeah. I was
get a
dead
lot of
serious.
flack, man.
No, a lot of people were like,
dead serious.
Yeah,
it was a good lazy project.
Yep, but that's at the same time, like I feel like that is just as quote unquote blasphemous is what I said.
Well,
I'm just saying.
There may be a reason they.
I'm just saying.
There may be a reason they got a little bit madder at.
I'm just saying.
Shut your white ass up. That is the tone of our comments.
Yo, they be so OC, man. Like it's just y'all calm down.
My favorite thing is like I agree with him, but that white man need to shut up talking about rap music.
You gonna give him his props and say he's right, but then get mad because
I'm gonna
he's
get him
white.
a dashiki for the next episode.
Come on, man.
I've been wearing.
What do y'all want him in a kufi before you
wearing hats? So
maybe we gonna get you a dashiki.
Yeah, like what we gotta.
If we put you in a kufi, it might be the end of the podcast.
Bro, like what do they want him to wear? Because like I see so many people saying, yeah, he do got a good point, but I need him.
I don't want to hear that from the white man.
I don't want him to say.
Then I want you to talk like the little boy on "I'm Going to Get You, Sucker."
Wow.
The freedom of the black man for his own political career. Free brother.
We're gonna have to show that to you if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, we'll get you right on that.
We'll fire that. Yeah,
we got to have Lone dressed like Dr. Umar before they really want to rock with him, and he's saying all these bars and good content.
It won't matter. That actually would not help the situation at all.
You're dressed like Dr. Umar.
That would make it worse.
It would make it worse.
Now, the levels of culture vulturism.
What do we have to do, y'all? Put it in the comments. Do we got to get him a cross colors jacket? Like what? What is it gonna take?
You can
for
find
us?
a cross color jacket.
They're gonna say you just need to get him up off there.
That's what they're gonna say.
Sorry, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Put him in an X hat, like in the 90s.
Get him a medallion.
Yeah, get him a medallion. Have him dressed like Chuck D or something for y'all to.
No, that's not.
Come on, man.
No.
I'm just saying, man. Did y'all see the one about Logic and his fans being a little upset with his next EP that he's about to do?
Logic,
the title
again? No, I haven't seen that.
Logic has a homie called 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐿, and they're doing an EP. And the group is called Halfbreed.
Oh, wow.
You don't get out of here with this.
Might as well said their name was Mulatto.
If you look at the picture, Terry can see it. And you see
𝐀𝐁𝐿 would never.
You know who else would never?
Who?
Drake
would never. So some of the comments, I guess it started off as
Macklemore would never.
He would never. Macklemore would never.
He definitely would never.
I think it started off as people were thinking it was just, a joke, right? But it turns out this is an actual project. And look at some of the comments. Somebody typed, it said, Logic did not go from song to song reminding us he is black and white to now finally making a rap group called Halfbreed, laughing emoji. This N-word is mad consistent. I hate it. Crying emoji. Of all the names you could have, LMF.
Why I oughta.
Nah, you are not. Nah, this is so unserious, is what somebody else said. Anything to tell us you're half white and half black. Noted one more follower. So basically, everybody's picking on Logic because he always goes with the narrative to talk about his heritage.
He probably could have did this in the 90s and got away with it.
You think so?
He probably could have, but they would have had to. Logic would have had to been a little more horde.
He would
have had to been a little more horde.
Oh, okay.
He'd have to been like gangster a little bit.
But somebody, there was a flip side though, because somebody said, Oh hell yeah, with a fire emoji, and then somebody else.
It's
said,
always going to be somebody though.
I thought we weren't gonna read random people's comments, man.
It's in the article though. They just.
I know.
I just want to use.
I don't care about Johnny 865. Like,
That's probably his name too.
I don't care, man.
I thought you was about to say Johnny 5.
Please call me Johnny 5.
All right.
I would rather read
Let's talk
Johnny
about the
5.
topic then. Just
I
the
know,
idea
That
of
goes back to
half-breed.
our AI conversation.
Definitely. So what you think, man? Half-breed.
I do not care.
I knew you were going to say that.
I do not care.
Lone, people care. There's multiple comments on here. I ain't going to read them, but there's multiple comments on here. Jay Moore, half-breed, bro.
Like
Terry said he could have got away with it in the 90s, he think.
In the 90s, he probably could have got away with it.
And maybe because
but he
would
have had to been hoard.
In the 90s, maybe it was a little bit more special for you to be mixed. But I'm sorry. 2023, this just don't make you particularly special, especially when you think about all of the people in hip hop,
rap,
who are of I want to be sensitive here,
Mixed.
of mixed heritage.
There it is. I like that.
And
Mixed heritage.
I like mixed heritage, Lone. That's nothing wrong with mixed heritage.
What is the heritage of music?
I don't know. Maybe.
And all the people who,
That is my ethnicity. I am mixed.
of mixed heritage who are thriving in hip hop
From Kansas City.
and never talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not the whole thing where, I guess Logic is white passing or whatever, but
No, he is.
man, like,
He wants you to know where
how
you're from,
many
bro.
of these of entertainers who are from J. Cole to Drake to Big Lotto to Doja Cat, who all these people, and they never talk about it in their music. If somebody asks them, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's what it is." But then he's been harping on this since we started this podcast.
That's
his
what they're
gimmick.
talking about.
That's his gimmick.
That's his gimmick.
He should have stayed retired if this was what he was going to do.
That man retired for a hot
What was
3
it? Like,
months.
I was about to say 2.5, 3
stayed
months.
there and kept getting his money on Twitch.
Yeah. He was getting that bag
we
on
live in a
Twitch.
culture right now that are not going to be as forgiving by him going by half-breed. He'll mess around and be done.
Let me stop.
Yeah, have you seen the? I mean, it's kind of related to this, but have you seen like there's certain, I don't know, there's like this TikTok trend where people will wear shirts and it'll be like, "Yes, I'm black," and then they'll like walk up to people and then they like ask them about it or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
So I know that I follow the girl whose line that is, and it's weird because it's like she always has on this shirt. Because I mean, she's very fair skinned,
right?
But
like
it's like, why should you have to say
like Logic?
Like why should you care that much to tell people that all the time?
Yeah,
it's like, this is me.
People don't care.
I feel like it's probably some level of colorism that she's trying to address, right? That would be my guess.
Mixed in with
same stuff it goes right into what we're talking about with Logic and why he keeps bringing this up. Do you think he's doing this because he's just trying to make it less taboo? Less of a...
Is it taboo anymore?
He's making it corny, though.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's corny, but I don't know. I'm trying to help him out here.
I honestly think...
Oh, no, you're trying to help Logic.
I'm trying to help everybody, man.
I honestly think it's an acceptance thing. Like, I feel like he's still reaching for some acceptance somewhere. Like, because he's been doing it for so long,
Is it warranted?
bro.
Is it warranted for him to do that?
I think Logic has already crossed that threshold to where people could be like, "Dude, you're dope. You don't have to do that." I mean, he had, with that 1-800-Suicide song, put him on the map, like, for real. Like, that might be his most popular song.
Right.
But he could have used that energy to catapult him to something else rather than keep falling back
on this
to this same story about him being mixed. J. Cole don't talk about that much.
That's why I'm saying I think it's something.
I mean, he's mentioned I got a white mom and this, you know what I'm saying?
But there's something in dude that he's reaching for, I think. Because like you said, all the people that you named, clearly they comfortable. Like, they don't harp on it. They don't mention it over and over again. They don't put it in records. They'll respond when they're asked about it. He's openly going above and beyond to put this out there. So that tells me there's something in here, in my opinion.
Maybe he's not comfortable with himself. And
that's what I'm talking about.
He has to keep saying it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because maybe when he looks in the mirror, he doesn't see a black man.
Yeah.
So he has to keep telling himself, "I'm a black man."
Exactly.
And I hate to be making up something for somebody. You know what I'm saying?
No. But if you think about it, if you take it a step further, he does have a platform on it, so he can be a face for that. True. No pun intended.
Maybe he just wants to show support to all the other white passing black people in America. I don't know. Maybe, and he's like, hey, I'm here for you, people who can pass.
I mean, there's a guy on that's part of the Halfbreed group.
Can he pass?
He just like a regular black dude.
There you go.
So that's the other half of the.
I knew what you was about to say.
He kind of looked like what's up boy, Ro James. He kind of looked like him.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, we know about him.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's a thing. So
it was said that his mama would abuse him for being mixed child. He said mental illness. Well,
that would explain some things.
I didn't know that part.
I mean, because this is the thing. Like a lot of times, we've talked about this before, where proximity to black people does not absolve you of racism.
Right.
You know, and
some of them are actually the worst.
I had a close friend who, you know, she would talk about how her white mom was incredibly racist. You know, and you know that can be something that psychologically affects people in the long term.
Sure.
So if that's something that really has affected Logic, then I guess I can shoot him some bail. But at the same time, dog, like we get you musically, I guess. You know,
for the record, we give Logic a hard time on the show. I don't actually dislike Logic.
Thank you.
But he just comes across so.
Like he's trying so hard, and like this is the thing. Like you don't have to try around us, man. Like if you, and this is the wild thing about being black in America. I mean, there's a lot of wild things about being black in America because like you can see someone who is of mixed heritage next to somebody who has two black parents who just happen to be light skinned, and the thing is, in America, doesn't matter because they're just to white people they're just black.
It's the one drop.
It's the one drop thing. So it's not like, you know, if the police pull you over and they go ahead and they decide they're going to pull you over for being black, you'd be like, wait. My mom is white. I have some photographs. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
You'd be a fool not to use that to your advantage.
I feel like this is a Family Guy sketch or something. Wait a second.
With the little picture.
With the pictures, yeah.
Okay, you're good to go.
You know, and I think, I don't know, and like I said, I sometimes when, you know, it comes off as silliness, but at the same time, I think some of the things that Logic says and his antics, for lack of a better word, there's a level of trauma there. Mm-hmm. So I can't really empathize with this particular situation, but maybe that's just what it is. Maybe there's a level of trauma and he's working it out through these Instagram posts and through
in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's what happens with famous people a lot of time. They like Richard Pryor. A lot of what his genius and a lot of the things that he talked about was him working out his trauma on stage.
True.
And we, you know, and putting it into jokes.
He talked about freebasing.
He talked about
himself up.
Look, Richard is just the most honest person to ever live because like there's some of that stuff I was like, I'd have kept that to myself.
Nah, for real.
Look where he grew up at. Yeah, man. So we'll see, man. The project, I guess, is real. So Jay Moore, once you get it, man, let me know.
No, I'm good on that.
I still ain't ran that Macklemore.
Me neither. Man, did you run it long?
Yeah, of course.
Is it John Blaze?
Yeah.
Does it belong?
You caught me in a lie. I don't know.
All right, man. Well, we'll see, man. I thought that one was definitely interesting with this album cover, but y'all see Webbie, man? Y'all see the Pimp C tribute?
Names on y'all.
Huh?
Nope.
You got some.
I saw the picture, and I honestly thought it might have been a deep fake.
I thought it was too at first.
You saw it?
This has been a whole bunch of deep fakes going on, and people don't realize that a lot of these pictures that y'all are sharing aren't real.
Like the Donald Trump mugshot. I was like, no, that's not real, guys.
They got a picture of LeBron sitting in a bathtub full of eggplant emojis.
Facts.
And people are sharing that like it's legit.
They're like, Michael Jordan would never.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Y'all will fall for anything.
Yeah, anything.
What do y'all think about Webbie saying, though, once the picture came out, I guess it was a tribute to Pimp C. Looks like a, what am I looking for?
Halter-top?
Halter-top.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Is that a halter-top, right?
That's the vibes it gave me.
So what do y'all think about Webbie, though, when he says, why is it that this is the stuff that y'all choose to share from me, but you don't share when I constantly and I consistently talk about the kids kids stay in school, because y'all know he said it all the time. Kids stay in school, get your education, get this, get that. He's like, in rap, we never post that stuff. We just go for the halter-top photos.
He took the picture.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, does Webbie have a point when he says that?
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have a point at all.
No.
All right, talk to me, Jay Moore. Why doesn't he have a point? Because we never hear anybody talk about Webbie and his educational rants. Right? Am I tripping? Well, we can't take Webbie serious when he talks about education.
Well, because first of all,
what y'all telling me?
Why would you wear a halter top to pay tribute to Pimp C? I don't, Pimp C.
Pimp C wasn't going for that.
Pimp C would have been like, he'd have had some words for that.
I can't argue with that.
And it was, I don't know, maybe he felt like he has to be on the new wave where some of these rappers are just, as Ice-T would say, dressing weird.
Yeah.
So
Ice-T would not like this.
Would get some attention. Like I said, Webbie, I thought maybe he had moved on and maybe was raising a family, and
he's a grandfather. He said
he wasn't really doing music anymore.
Dang.
Like I haven't heard anything from Webbie in so long.
Said he's shooting a movie as well.
All right, well, good for him.
He should have been hanging with Boosie, because Boosie evidently doing something right, because he's always
Boosie. Boosie comes to Indianapolis every 3 months.
Get a bag too.
But it's just like, sir, I haven't heard any new music from you. I don't, since I don't follow you on social media, I don't know about your stay in school rhetoric, and if that's what you're doing, I think that's great, because some people will listen to you say, but I don't know, if you're a Webbie fan at this point, you should be out of school, or honestly, it's not gonna help you at this point. You already dropped out of school.
He don't think nobody care, man.
Exactly. But it's because you showed up in a weird outfit paying tribute to somebody who would not have been a fan of your weird outfit.
Now,
and that's really all there is to
take that monkey-ish off. You embarrassing us.
Yeah.
That's what he would have said.
No point there, huh?
None.
Nah.
Like if you're gonna pay tribute to the pimp, show up in a pro model cap and a fur,
white fur,
in front of a
with some Stacy's on,
a Mercedes-Benz CL with
some all white Stacy's on,
with some thick and light skin. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a tribute to Pimp C.
Not a halter top, huh?
Nah, man. I sort of, like I said, I didn't think it was a real photo. That's how out of character. Because I don't know his character. Let's just say that I don't.
It's
know
like
it just didn't seem right.
Ain't heard nothing or seen Webbie in forever. Then this picture pops.
He gonna show up on a halter top and some suspect pants.
Come on, man.
No, it wasn't even fashion forward. Let's just say it like that.
All right, man. We appreciate the support as always. Sorry, I got to take care of a little business there. NewOldEdge.com for all the education you need this year. We got a Linktree joint too that has all the options to where you can find us.
Got the Feet Only Fans is on there.
That's on the way. Yeah, we working on that.
I'm not working on it.
Well, I'm not on it, but we're going to find some people to do it. Another stream of income. We appreciate the support as always. Like, subscribe, share it. We'll see y'all next week. And shout out to the chat. We appreciate y'all.
Shout out to Bud Light and the gays.
Now we got to edit it. See y'all next week.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right. In a minute.
Oh, man.